everybody, this is the first Taff's Word of 2018 and an overdue Taff's Word as well, and can only really apologise really that I haven't really done more of these. It's been a bit of a poor situation for me. For those of you that don't know, unfortunately on Christmas Day we had to rush my dad to the hospital with a heart attack. He's okay now though. He was actually at the Exeter game, funny enough. It was his birthday that day, and we had one of the lads from Yana over. My dad didn't want to let him down, so he made sure he was out. He took it easy though, fair play to him. But like the Christmas period, on the build up the Christmas period, I was pretty ill. I had a really bad head cold that was really running me down. You know the old dizziness, bad headaches, and the bunged upness. It was just not really a good sort of feel to put across over the camera on a blog, like, you know. So what can I say? Here we are. We're in 2018. We kicked it off well with a good win. A really, really hard-fought, spirited win against a really good Exeter team. So I was really pleased with the way we played. I was really pleased for Robbie Wilmot getting a goal, and it was a really good one as well to get and to get the winner the way that he did. No, it was great. The conclusion to the elections also took place. First of all, I want to go on record and say what a pathetic turnout it was. 2 games to get it done. The only sympathy I've got for anyone that didn't vote was that it was 2 games on the build-up to Christmas, which, 23rd of December, and then, obviously not on the build-up to Christmas, 23rd of December and the 1st of January ain't the best. It ain't the best dates, really. But still, with that in mind, considering the crowds that we had for those games, the turnout was poor. It was a real shame. I think the way the elections were, I felt as though they could have been something more, because all you had to decide between the 6 candidates was 4 answers to 4 questions, basically. Although the questions were important, I do feel as though we were very limited with what we had, which was a big reason why I did the video that I did. As much as it was, it was felt that there was no way I could be impartial and fair in the video. I feel as though people who actually watched all of the video and digested everything I had to say will agree that I was fair and impartial about it, and I did highlight a lot of good points for everybody, but also raised some concerns which I feel as though that they were fair. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to raise them concerns. I mean, people say because I was in close proximity to one of the candidates, felt as though I couldn't really have an unbiased opinion on all 6. Well, what I would say to people who felt that is basically Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher and Thierry Henry are 3 of the best pundits out there and the most unbiased pundits out there, who are all complete legends for 3 particular teams in the Premier League. But if they can be professional, unbiased pundits on Sky, then surely I, even though I'm in close proximity, I'm not I'm not comparing myself to those people and their ability to be pundits on football. But at the end of the day, I've done this blog for years now, and I've had opinions on an awful lot of different subjects regarding the county, and surely, people can give me the benefit of the doubt, to have an unbiased opinion on something, irrespective. As much as people might think that I was some sort of campaign manager for Phil Ashcroft, I was not. I stated straight away, I'm not campaigning for anybody. I'm not going to run anybody down, and I'm not going to run anybody up. All I did is answer a question on the message board for people who didn't know who Phil was. So I gave a little insight to who Phil is without really bigging him up. Only thing I said is that he was involved in Worcester City, at which point I didn't know to what extent. All I know is that he's told me in the past that he was involved in Worcester City years ago. So I put out that I felt, judging on some of the things that Phil said that he actually did, is that it was a similar role to Alex, because he seemed to oversee an awful lot of things. whereas it turned out it was mainly events and fundraising that Phil did, which is obviously an important role to play in any football club, of course. But there we go. I made an incorrect assumption, and that was it. I didn't campaign for anybody. I didn't try to run anybody down until after the applications were made. I didn't run any individuals down. I know what happened with Rob Santris before everybody applied, and that was just purely because I disagreed with his decision to make public the Charlie Hopkin letter. I felt somebody else could have done that, and Rob may have, limited his opportunity to get on the board. As it happened, he got on anyway, so what I said didn't really matter, did it? But there we go. All that was left in 2017, a year which was an awful year, in my opinion, losing county supporters. Most notably on my part, it was Kieran Sanjis, and also Rob Powell as well, who was a nice bloke. I had the... for both of those people, I had the pleasure of knowing them quite well. Rob I spoke to on a number of occasions over the county, and also we had debates and things like that on Facebook, but respectable debates about things that we hold dear. But I always had an awful lot of time and respect for Rob. But Kieran was such a lovely boy, and his family, were such good friends. It was a difficult one. Obviously, the Great Escape was the highlight of the year for us for Newport County, and obviously the half of the season that we've had in 2017, 2018 has been absolutely fantastic in comparison to last year. We're actually on double the points that we were on. I think just a few more than double now. So it just goes to show the difference 12 months can make. Now 2018, what kind of year are we going to have as Newport County now? I mean, we've definitely got the right management team. We've got 5 new directors, new blood, offering completely 5 different perspectives being offered to this board now, and more hands on deck really to get things going a little bit more. I mean, we got people who are capable of helping raise funds, people who are capable of helping organise things, people who are capable of running things from a media perspective. I mean, we got some great skill sets on that board right now. I mean, I'll always say it's a shame that Phil didn't get on, because I know what Phil could offer, and it's something that not a lot of people would really understand unless you actually sat down and spoke to Phil. But it's a shame that he didn't get on, but I'm sure it's not the last that we'll see of him. Phil, he's definitely a trier, and he's not going to give up there. So let's hope that another opportunity presents itself, and Phil has had the opportunity to put himself out there a little bit more, in a much better light than what people may see him in now. But there we go. So the Christmas periods for the results. I mean, I was a little disappointed with the 0-0 with Lincoln, because I thought we were the better team. Should never have gone down to 10 men. That was never a sending off offence, in my opinion. It wasn't a dangerous tackle. It was a late-ish tackle. His feet were off the ground, but they weren't going into the guy's legs. He was in front of him, and he tripped over his legs. It wasn't a red card. No way. And Brett Huxtable got exactly what he deserved, and that was an awful reception from our supporters, which, say, he's done this sort of thing to us before. He's given penalties against us. He's refereed poorly for us in the past. He's inconsistently. So I hope we never see him again at our ground. I hope we never see him again at any other ground either. Absolutely despise him. I think, so Lincoln, Danny Cowley was a bit of a prick, and so was his assistant. Apparently they're brothers. I didn't like them one little bit. They couldn't take our stick, which was funny, until some dickhead, and that's what you are. And if you're watching this and you're the one who threw the coins at them, you are a complete and utter dickhead, and I hope you never come to another county game for as long as you live. Personally, I think there are people in that stand who know exactly who done it, but are afraid to be labelled as a grass. Unfortunately, the pride of not being a grass, or the people who want to call someone a grass or put someone down for grassing someone up, for me, That's not more important than my football club. And if my football club are going to be given sanctions and heavy fines and things like that, I personally couldn't give a flying fig. I would shop someone in straight away if I saw someone throwing coins, and I'm proud to say that because my club comes first. I don't give a shit if someone sees me as a grass. If my football club's going to get in the crap because some dickhead wants to throw coins, then that's their problem, and I'm shopping them straight in. Simple as that, and that's it. I don't know about the thing with the ball, but people had a go at someone for naming the person with the ball, calling them a grass. And if that ball incident is part of the investigation that the FA got against us, I say good on them for naming them. It should do. But the ball thing, I think, is a lot less of a serious thing than the coins. I think the ball thing can be forgiven as a bit of banter, really, because it's just a football thrown at someone's back, and it's as simple as that. The coins, on the other hand, is a serious thing. It's obviously hit their manager and their assistant manager, and it's not on. Absolutely not on, because it gives people the opportunity to tar all our fans with the same brush. Now, we got a reputation, for throwing things at people, and 99.99% of our support have done nothing wrong, and it sickens me. So yeah, if you're out there, take yourself to the club, own up to it. If the club means more than you, for me, the club does mean more than you. The club means more than me, and it means more than anybody else who go. So sickens me. Like I say, I'd shop you straight in if I saw you doing it, and it's as simple as that. Now, moving on. Wickham, I couldn't go. Obviously, it was the day after we had to take my dad into hospital, so I couldn't go, of course. From the people who did go, we had bright periods of the game where we just couldn't get in on goal properly, and then they obviously took their chances. But Wickham are doing well at the moment, so it's one of those, got to take that one on the chin and not moan too much about it. The next game then was Cheltenham, obviously, and I feel as though we should have won that game, but it's an away point. If you're winning your home games and drawing away, you're averaging 2 points a game, and that's promotion form. Obviously, that's the thought process over the last two games. That's what it's been: an away draw and then a home win. Now we got the big one coming up. Now I mentioned Exeter being a great game for us. Amon back in the scoring, which is great to see. Giving Flinney food for up front. I think Newblake could be worthy of a drop at some point. He's capable of doing such magical things on that football pitch, but sometimes you do think, come on, I know there's something more in you, so dig that little bit more and find it, because if there's that little bit more in Newblake, Chelsea tried to offer him a new contract. West Ham took him on. There's something about that guy, and he's not quite digging enough to bring out his full potential. And the moment he can do that, the moment he does that, and we got a glimpse of that against Chesterfield, but I think that's just a glimpse. I think there's even more than that to come from the guy. And if he can really dig for it and really show enough desire for it, then that guy's going far in the game. He's still young. He's only about 25, I think. That's mental. That's a mental age to be in the game for so long. And he's just fallen down the leagues. And he's down in Lonely League 2. And he started his career off in the Championship, pushing for Premier League. The guy could be the Premier League forward again one day, I believe. But he's got to dig for that little bit of extra something. So moving on then, the big one coming up, Leeds on Sunday. I really believe that we can upset them. If our team turn up, I believe that we'll give them a game, and I think that we could do the job. We got O'Brien back, Labadi's back. I don't think there's any fresh injury worries. I think we're going to have a full squad to choose from, and I really think we're going to give them a tough time of it. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, guys, I've done this for nearly 15 minutes. It is a happy new year to you all. Thank you for those of you who support the channel in 2017. The channel has gone from strength to strength. We got nearly 1,300 subscribers now. Our views, I'd say by the start of next season, we will have hit our 1 million views, which is quite an accomplishment, really. The channel's only been going since the spring of 2014. So it's only nearly four years old, and for a channel based on a small club with a few extra neutral football videos thrown in, I think it's quite an achievement. So we want to thank every single one of you who support this channel for everything that you've done, because it's been phenomenal, and it's raising funds for the Amber Army group, which in turn is allowing us to carry on doing the good work that we're doing, to engage supporters and help raise the profile of Newport County, and of course fundraise for the club as well, allowing us to sponsor players and offer money to the club, you know, in donations and things like that, and put merchandise in the club shop and everything. So thank you all, and I say there's so much more to come from this group. Just you wait, 2018 is going to be a big year for us, so keep your eyes peeled. Thanks again, guys, and until next time, cheerio for now, and of course, up the county.